Welcome back into Cullman today. I'm Debbie Wood along with Jason Zinsmeister. Jason is with us this morning. We're going to be talking about the last 10 years of his life, a little bit about investments and that kind of thing. When you first started 10 years ago, did you have any idea that it was going to end up where it is today? Did you know you were going to learn so much? You had to.
Well, you know, from where I started, obviously I had to learn a lot, and I went through a process of doing all the wrong things with my own money, and then learning what I should be doing, kind of correcting the mistakes that I had made, and then helping teach people what they should do along the way. So the learning curve was really steep in the beginning, but it's been a ton of fun.
I was going to say, and it had to be rewarding. I know when I sell a house to someone, they're so excited. I'm rewarded by them being so happy.
Right.
And so you had to feel the same way if you're helping somebody get their money situation straightened out.
You know, in America, one of the largest causes of divorce are your finances. It causes a ton of stress in your life. And so if you can just find simple things to do to kind of get your finances in order and get your thinking right about your money, it goes a long way in reducing that stress and helping the relationship. And so that's the satisfaction I find. You know, I work with a lot of people that have a lot of money, and that's good to help them manage it and hold on to it. But really, where the rewards come in is when somebody comes in and they say, man, I'm just not doing anything right. I don't know how to do anything. I'm not paying my bills well. I'm not balancing my checkbook. I can't invest. I just don't know what to do. When I can take those people and walk them through some basic steps and get them headed in the right direction, that's really where not the financial rewards, but that's where the personal rewards come in.
I bet it would be. And so many people, I think, are hesitant to even get started. You know, sharing, to me, personal information. You have to really trust someone in order to let go of that personal information. Did you find that to be the case?
You do, but it's interesting when you start talking about money, the trust level has to be really high, as you've said. And so in our culture, we just don't talk about money. And in a normal relationship, we're going to maybe build up to that point where finally we'll open up and discuss something. When you come in and sit down with a consultant, the expectation is, hey, I'm going to tell this guy everything. And so if they're sitting down with me, they pretty much already have trusted me for some reason. Either it's a referral, or I've known them, or I have a decent reputation, I hope, in town. And so the trust level's there because they do tell me everything, and it turns into almost a counseling session at times.
Exactly, I bet it would. And so when let's just give everybody a sort of a scenario. You come in, and of course you have to bring all your information about what you make and what your outlay is, that kind of thing. Do you recommend at that time, or does it take a little while to really understand where they are in order for you to recommend?
It does. It usually takes a couple of interviews because I go through a process that's maybe a little bit different than a lot of guys do. You know, over the last 10 years, I've learned that somebody can come in and they can say, well, you know, I've got $300 to invest, and what would you recommend? And we could go through their risk tolerance and find out kind of what they could handle, what they couldn't, and their portfolios built just based on their risk tolerance. And I could put them in that, and I could even say, you know, if you'll invest $300 over 30 years and make 8%, you'll have close to $500,000 when you retire. And they may say, great, I'd love to have $500,000, and they go on about their business. That can work, but much better for me is to say, what if it were 30 years today and you were retired? How much money do you really need? And if we can come up with that number, then we can kind of back up, and I can say, okay, today you really need to be doing something besides the 300. Maybe you need to do 500, take a little less risk, or maybe you need to do 200, take a little more risk. But if we can back up and get to that point, then I can say, yeah, this is really what you need to be doing, and then we can change it along the way as we need to. And to me, that's a much better process than for someone to just come in and say, well, here's what I have to invest, what can you do for me?
Absolutely. So you sort of look at the whole picture. Principal Financial Group, tell us a little bit about the company that you're with and what all y'all are able to do.
Okay. Principal is a multinational company, so we're worldwide. Have a big presence in the United States. I think there's probably 1,000, 1,500 investors, something like that, or not investors, consultants, headquartered out of Des Moines, Iowa. And I work out of the local office in Birmingham, although I have a satellite office here in Cullman. But with Principal, really, I moved to them because they give me the ability to just do what I need to do for my customers, So I can provide a lot of services that I couldn't before. And so if someone comes in and they need just risk-based planning, we can plan for their long-term care for their parents, or we can take care of their life insurance, or I can do their disability insurance if they need that. Or if they need group benefits for work, we do that. So that's on the risk side. But if someone comes in and they say, I just need to invest, I need to plan for retirement, then Princor's brokerage services allow me to handle all of those needs. And then we do true wealth management as well. So if someone
Okay.
comes in and they're a little further down the road and they say, you know,
Right.
I've accumulated a lot of money,
Right.
and now I'm moving into that phase where I've got to learn how to distribute it over the next 30 years. How do I manage this thing?
Exactly.
And what do I do for retirement? Then we can move into the wealth management side. And so really lets me serve a big range of needs that I just couldn't do before.
Exactly. Now, true wealth, and you know, years ago, folks, people would take that money and just sort of hide it. I remember my grandfather talking about hiding that money or burying that money or putting it. That's not what we recommend. I mean,
Well,
that's not a good thing.
It's
Is it?
difficult with the pace of inflation. If you just stick your money under the mattress, you're going to lose buying power every year at somewhere
Right.
between 3.5% to 6%, depending on whose numbers you use. And so you're just backing up. So I might put $100,000 in my mattress, and in
Right.
10 years from now, I may have really 75. Even though the 100's still there, I can
Right.
only buy what maybe 75 or 80 would buy. So that's a tough way to go.
So it's a very, very important thing. And we've got a number for you, 256, it is 297-1099 is the number if you need more information. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. And before we take a break, we're going to talk about this in a minute. When we come back from our break, we're going to talk all about your book that you've written. I've
Right.
been reading a little bit about it, Battle Ready Finance Basic Training. And so we're going to learn all about this. But has it been a fun process?
Oh, it has. It's if you've never written a book, you should try it. It's something everybody should do. I think just putting your thoughts down on paper and finding a coherent way to express your ideas, and then getting them out into the public and just seeing what happens. It's just an exciting process. I've sold books in Japan and the UK and Great Britain and France and Denmark, and so it's an
Fun.
exciting thing
Yeah.
to do.
To see all that
Right.
and the possibilities that are out there. So you stay with us. We'll be back with a lot more of Cullman today and talk about Jason's book right after this.